because this is a topic that is really near and dear to my heart. And I have spent years perfecting the sales page process. I have created now over 100 sales pages, and I've really figured out what works and what doesn't. And I've spent, a lot of time, a lot of money, gone through a lot of courses to really learn what I'm going to be able to share here with you guys today. So get ready to take notes. We are going to learn how to create your killer sales page. So, first, just a little bit about myself. My name is Valerie, and I am really on a mission to help other coaches scale their business and change the lives of thousands. So, one of the things I do is that I create white label content for other health and wellness coaches to use within their own business to scale their business faster, to save them a ton of time. And I also help all coaches scale their business with simple growth strategies, similar to what we'll be learning about today. And I just want to let you guys know that I started out just like you, likely scrambling to get your business off the ground. I was completely overwhelmed by the tech and the back end of running a business. As a wellness professional, I didn't have any business training, and it really took me by surprise how much goes into running a business and all the little nuances that you need to really get right in order to scale. So, and now I help other coaches get over that obstacle, because it really is something that wellness coaches really need help with and a little extra hand holding. And after years of going through very, very expensive trainings and a lot of trial and error, a lot of heartbreak, many failures, I feel that I have really finally cracked the code on how to make digital sales. And that's a lot of what we're going to be talking about today, because we're talking about your sales page. So I went from the burnout to I was working until 2 a.m. some nights. At that point, I had a toddler and a newborn. And I was sometimes working until 2 a.m. And then my baby would wake up at 2:30 and need a feeding. So I was getting like 3 to 4 hours of sleep, doing everything for my kids, doing it all as a mom. And I was just completely burnt out. I was working one on one with clients and really trying to scale my business that way. And I realized that that was not going to work, and I needed to come up with another option. So that's when I got into really creating sales pages to sell both digital products and group coaching products. And when I started doing that, it took a while. It took a while to see the growth, to pick up things, but I finally found a method that works, and it has worked for me every single time since, every single new product that I've released. And now I have freedom of time, freedom of money. I get to explore with my family, travel with my family when I want to, and I have released that anxiety of business, of the business aspect of wondering what my next month is going to look like financially. Am I going to be able to fill my schedule? So I hope that I can help you guys with that a bit today. So, what can we actually learn in less than an hour today? Because as I mentioned earlier, it took me years of experience to learn all of this and tons of time on courses, tons of money on courses. But I think there's one important thing that we really can hone in on today, and that is your sales page. And the reason that I picked your sales page is because everything funnels back to this. Everything leads back to the sales page. We could talk about social media engagement, paid advertising, course creation, webinars, email marketing. You need all that to run a digital business, to run a business online. But what it all funnels back to is the person landing on your sales page and either signing up or not, right? So that is where everything comes back to. And you have to have a killer sales page in order to make sales. So who needs a sales page? Really, anyone who owns a business. Because if you provide a service, whether that be one-on-one coaching, group coaching, online, or any sort of service-based business, you need to have somewhere where people can actually purchase those packages and sign up with you. If you sell a digital product or a physical product, an online course or a live course, again, you need a place for people to go to learn about it and to hit the sign up button to actually get enrolled. If you are someone who is looking to generate leads, so any business that's looking for people to sign up for their email market newsletter or make a phone call to them, you need to have a sales page. So if you are running a business, you need to have a sales page. Okay, so let's talk about the 3 pillars of a killer sales page. The first one is that you need to be able to connect with the reader. This is so important. This is your messaging. You need to be able to identify with their problems and their desires and relate to the reader by showing that you truly understand their concerns. So you need to be able to show that you get them, and it needs to be in their words. And we're going to go into more depth on this. You need to be able to show that your product could be the solution. That's pillar number 2. Your product is the solution to their problem. So help the reader see how your product can actually transform their situation and change their life. And then pillar number 3 is you need to be able to generate trust. People are only going to buy from you if they can trust you. And there's many different ways that you can generate trust, and we'll go through that in this workshop. So one thing I just want to mention, and this was really hard for me in the beginning when I first started making sales, was actually selling my product, pitching my product, because a lot of people feel a little bit slimy when they're trying to sell someone. They don't want to push something on someone. But I really want you to think of your product as a gift. And it truly is. If you really believe in your product, then it has to be solving somebody's problem. And if it's solving somebody's problem, you want to shout it from the rooftops. You want them to get enrolled. It's changing their life in some way. So your product is a gift, and you should sell it like that. Okay. So you're not being slimy by trying to talk about your product and get people enrolled in your product. You really should think of it as a gift for them. All right, so there's a certain flow when it comes to sales pages. And this is the general idea of how you want your sales page to look. You have your first glance, and the first glance is what people see when they first get on the page without scrolling down. That's that very first image that they see when they get on the page. Then you have your story, and this is where you identify the client's problem. Then we get into the product, and that's where you actually show what your product is, what are the features of your product, but more importantly, what are the benefits and impact that those features provide, and we will get into detail. And then you want to seal the deal. So the first glance, what's in the first glance? You have your headline, your hook, and possibly a call to action. So a good headline is relatable, it sparks curiosity, it mentions the client's problem, and it speaks in their voice. And you need to be able to show that their desires are achievable. So again, speaks in their voice. Your messaging needs to be very clear. And before you can really get clear on your messaging, you need to get clear on who you are working with, your niche, right? Who is your client? Who exactly is your client? And how can you speak directly to that person on your sales page? So this is an example. So this would be like somebody who's selling some sort of skincare product. And this is the example I have. Imagine feeling confident and pretty when you run into your ex at the grocery store with no makeup on, right? If you have skin issues and you see that, that hits hard. You feel that, you understand that. Who in this room? I mean, I know that if I see that, I'm like, okay, that person gets me. So this is an example of a good headline. Now, a hook is that it's that action where if people are like, oh, maybe this is not for me, this is your stick the foot in the door phrase. This is where you touch on what's holding them back from reaching their results that they crave, and you're speaking directly to their desires. So this is an example of a hook from one of my sales pages, and this is a product for course creators that want to, for any sort of coach really, that wants to deliver an online product and get sales, get passive income. So this hook example, fed up with bending over backwards to fit into everyone else's schedule, picture having a steady, thriving income that erases your money worries once and for all. Can you envision a life where your profits are on autopilot and you can finally savor quality moments with your family and have time for yourself on your schedule, your terms? So this is what my clients want. They want to be able to work when they want. They want the flexibility to drop their kids off from school or do something in the middle of the day, work from when they want and still get that steady income. They want consistency and steady income, and they want to be able to still have time for their family and themselves. So I'm speaking to their desires in this hook. Okay. So this is what it would actually look like. So if you have your first glance on your page, this is what it's going to physically look like. So this is from one of my sales pages, and you can see the headline here, ready to earn consistent 5-figure months on your schedule from any corner in the world. Again, my clients want to be working from wherever they want, whenever they want, and they want consistency in their income. So I'm speaking to the problem actually right now, but twisting it in a positive way. You always want to try to twist it positively if you can with these type of statements, with the headline and the hook. So I'm not saying like, are you tired of not being able to pay your bills on time? I'm not going to say that. I'm going to spin it in a positive way, but still speak to the problem. The problem is that they're not having consistency in their income and they're working on everyone else's schedule. And then you have that same hook here that I just discussed. So this is what it would actually look like. Now, if you have a product where it's an easy buy-in. So for example, signing up for your newsletter, it doesn't cost anything. They can unsubscribe at any time. Give a call to book a free consultation or a low ticket offer that you're selling for less than $50. Then you're going to want to have the call to action within that first glance, okay? So it's something really easy for them to go into. If it's kind of a no-brainer, if it's something that's easy for them to sign up. Now, if you have a higher end product that you're selling for thousands of dollars, you may want to like lead them into more of the story before you put your call to action. Okay. So I'm going to give you guys 1 minute, 60 seconds here. What I'm going to have you do is write down your client's top 2 desires and 1 catchy headline. So top 2 desires, what do they really crave? What do they really want from you? And 1 catchy headline. Remember to speak in their words when you're writing down their desires. Okay, what would they say to you? What's one thing, one concern that they would say to you when they get on a call with you? Good, I see lots of writing happening. Okay. All right, we can always come back to that later. We're going to move forward. So now we are on to the story, and the story is so important because this is when you relate and connect to the reader. So your story is, what are your clients' problems? And oh, guys, I'm just going to take a moment to pause for a second. If you have any questions, you can start popping them into the chat box. I have my friend and colleague Stacy on here, and she is recording any of the comments that or any of the questions that come through, and we're going to go through them at the end. So if something comes up, don't feel like you have to wait till the end. Go ahead and pop that in the comments. Okay, back to the story. What are your client's problems? How does this problem make your customer feel? How could the problem get worse? And then we'll have your connecting statement and your call to action. So problem statements. What are the issues that your buyer is facing that your product can solve for them? And we want to get extremely personal here. This should be like, she's in my head. She knows what I'm thinking. Oh my gosh, I need what she has. Okay. So this is examples from, let's say, a pelvic floor specialist. And a pelvic floor specialist is someone who helps somebody who has a weak pelvic floor after a baby or as they're getting older. Incontinence, so urinating when they don't want to, it's a big problem. So in case you don't know what a pelvic floor specialist is. So these would be some of the challenges that they would have. And this is what you would actually put on a sales page. So challenge number 1, your friends keep inviting you to a class at the gym. You keep coming up with excuses on why you didn't make it. The truth is the class involves jumping and that means trouble, right? Anyone with a pelvic floor issue gets that. Challenge number 2, you're tired of having to check ahead of time when going to new places to make sure that there's a bathroom and you know exactly where it is, right? I've had friends text me that say, I'm so sorry, but we can't choose that park because there's no bathroom and I need a bathroom. And if you're on the other end of that, if you're sending that message, it's something you don't want to have to feel. So they really understand this. Challenge number 3, intimacy with your partner just isn't the same. You and your partner are getting annoyed. Okay. So this really hits home for them. This is when they say like, she knows me, she's in my head. She definitely understands my problem, right? Okay. Now, how could the problem get worse? So what happens if the issue isn't addressed? And again, this is not mean or slimy to put this on your sales page. This is simply explaining to them, hey, I can help you, but if you don't help yourself, if you don't get help for this, this is what could potentially happen, because they may not know. So an example of this for that same pelvic floor specialist could be, as you age, your pelvic floor strength is only going to decline unless you do something about it. Adult diapers don't exactly help with self-confidence, right? So you're basically telling them in kind of a funny, cute way that you don't want to be in adult diapers. So let me help you. I have a solution for you, right? So explain how the problem could potentially get worse. And now you have your connecting statement. So again, get personal with your connecting statement. And your connecting statement is what leads them into your product and suggests that there's a solution to their problem. So an example connecting statement would be, what if you no longer had to hold your breath and run out of the room before you sneeze for fear you might pee yourself, right? So that is your connecting statement. Like, what if there's a solution to this and you no longer have to worry about this problem? And this is where you would put a call to action button. You can have multiple call to action buttons for people to sign up or enroll throughout your sales page. You don't just have to have it in one place. Okay. So I'm going to stop. We're going to stop. We're going to take a moment to write down some of the things that we learned here and start to write down some things that could go on your sales page. So you're going to write down 3 of your clients' top problems in their words. And think again, get very, very personal. What would they say to you if they were getting on a call with you? What would their problems be if you really dug deep into the why, right? So I'll give you another example. If you're a weight loss coach, for example, and your client is telling you they want to lose 10 pounds, like their desire is not to lose 10 pounds. Their desire might be to get, like, let's say they're an executive. They want to be able to get on stage in their outfit and feel confident on stage when hundreds of people are looking for them, right? Looking at them. So you need to really know your particular person that you're working with in order to write these problem statements. So you have to have your niche, you have to know the client that you want to work with, and that way you can really get deep on these problem statements. And then write down what would happen if these weren't addressed. So I'll give you just about 30 more seconds here. What are your clients' problems? What would happen if they were not addressed? Okay. And remember, at any time here, guys, go ahead and pop some questions into the chat box if you're curious about anything. We'll write them down and we'll answer them at the end. Okay, we are going to move on. So the next thing, this is a little reminder in case you missed it when I first mentioned it. Your product is a gift. So don't feel bad about really showing your product and really telling someone about it and telling them what it can do for them, more importantly. So we are on the product part of your sales page. So when we get to the product section, you are first going to introduce your offer. You're going to say what your offer is. You are going to tell the features of your product as well. So this is what's actually included in your product. Maybe you have, 10 weeks of online coaching or, a meal plan, whatever it is that you're putting in. You are going to say exactly what the features are and what's included. But more importantly, you need to get into the benefits and the impact of those features. That is what gets people to say, oh yes, I need to try this. So you're going to show how life would be different with your product or after they go through your program. Teach them why other methods maybe didn't work so well, but yours could be better. And then overcome any objections. And this could either be in the seal the deal section or in the product section, because you can overcome some objections with your bonus material. An example of that would be, I have a high protein bundle where I sell a recipe pack that has high protein meals and a bunch of other bonuses. And most of my clients want low carb, high protein, most of the people who buy, but some of them don't. Some of them are fitness professionals and some of them work with bodybuilders and they need carbs. And so part of my bonus material is a healthy carbohydrate side guide. And so you're overcoming that objection for someone who's saying, oh, I don't think this is going to quite work for me. This is maybe not quite in my wheelhouse. Oh, but wait a second. I have this bonus guide that actually makes it fit better with my lifestyle or with my business. Okay, so introducing your offer. So you name your product and then you call out your ideal audience. So in one of my programs, the Wellness Vault, which is my membership that I offer white label content for coaches, I introduce it as the Wellness Vault. That's what it's called. And then I say it's a monthly marketing membership for health coaches that delivers everything you need to keep new clients coming and current clients engaged. So I'm calling them out. This is for health coaches, right? You don't want to tiptoe around who this might be and hope that you get everyone under the sun to sign up for your product. You won't make any sales if you're looking for anyone and everyone to sign up. You need to call out who exactly it is for. And then you want to show the mental image of the impact of each feature. So this is where we really dig in to your client's desires. You explain how the client's life would be easier or better from their perspective by using your product. So you can also explain the wrong way and how you can relate to this, right? Maybe they've tried other things before and they haven't gotten the success that they're looking for. Call that out. Again, what exactly have they tried before? You likely know the things that they've tried before, and why might that have not worked for them, and why could your product work for them? Here's an example. So this is from my Client Growth Circuit, which is a program that I use to help coaches get their products out into the world and make online sales and make money while they sleep. And this is an example from this page. So earlier on the page, I say that there are this many modules. So this is one of the modules. And I say it's sales page that sells with done for you templates. And I say, this is gold. Your amazing product is going to need a killer sales page. Get the ideal client to hit the buy now button for money in your pocket so you can finally stop worrying about your finances while serving the community you love. So that right there, you guys, is the impact. So what some people will say on their sales page, what doesn't work, is that they'll say, killer or sales page that sells with done for you templates. And in the sub headline, they'll say, finally get a sales page that helps people convert. Well, okay, that's part of the benefit, but what is the ultimate impact of that? The ultimate impact is that they can finally stop worrying about their finances, and they can also at the same time serve the community they love, right? So you're really getting into what the client wants. Ultimately, if you ask them why 5 times, it's that 5th why that you're trying to get to. Okay, so your example number 2, this is from my Wellness Vault membership. This is just a different way of presenting it. So I'm saying part of it is that you get a pack of 30 recipes, and this is exactly what you're getting. 30 brand new recipes, so you never run out of fresh meals, full macro breakdown, so your client can effortlessly reach their goals. That's one of the impact. They really want their clients to get success, right? Because they want those clients to come back. They want those clients to send new clients to them. And then here, you never have to spend the last week again of the month digging through recipes, right? So it's saving them a ton of time. So you really want to hit on that impact of what they ultimately want. Next, you want to show the transformation. And this could be done through testimonials. This could be done before and after photos if you have them, but it can also be done through your own journey. So maybe you're not at the point where you have a lot of testimonials, and that's okay. Maybe you're running a new product. You can still make sales to that product and you can still show the transformation. But maybe you're showing your own journey, or maybe you've helped one other client. Maybe you're showing their journey with it. So it's basically just a comparison of what life was before your product to what life could be after your product, okay? And you always want to break down your product after you've explained everything and told all the benefits and features of benefits and impact of each feature. Then you want to really show all the value in a very clear way, the total value, and then what the prices that you're selling at and how to sign up. So your call to action button, what the total value, everything that they're getting, and what the price is now. So this is kind of just an example of what it might actually look like on your page. This is called your product stack. Okay, so it's your turn now. It's your turn to start writing some things down. So what we're going to write down in this section, keep it really simple. You're going to write down the top benefits or impact of your product. So if you already have a product, go ahead and write down the impact that your product makes on your client's life. If you don't have a product yet, but you're thinking, your brain is working, and you're thinking of something to create, go ahead and just start jotting down, brainstorming some ideas. This doesn't have to be perfect now. This is just to get the wheels turning. Sonia, I'm going to answer your question now. You said maybe this is a silly question. Is your sales page the same as your website? No. So yes and no. It could be your homepage if that's all you have. If you only have one service that you're offering, then yes, your sales page is going to be your homepage. But this is more for individual packages that you have. So let's say, for example, you are let's just say you're a weight loss coach, for example. You might do one-on-one sessions, but you might also do group sessions. And then you might also offer some sort of accountability program where you're just doing weekly check-ins along with some other, meal plan or challenges or whatever you have for them to follow. So you might have 3 different things that you offer, and the sales page would be going to those services or those products. If that makes sense. If you only have one thing that you're offering, then yes, it is going to be your homepage. Okay. Let's see. Yes, Jess said my sales page is on the home page of my website. Yep. And any place that you're trying to sell something is a sales page. So if you're trying to sell something from your home page, it's essentially a sales page. But if you're breaking it down to individual products, I wouldn't put quite as much detail because each product is going to be different and you can't write about every single product on that one homepage. So you're directing them to different pages to really explain each product. Okay. All right, let me just admit there's a few people here. Okay, so now we are going to move on. So we are on the last section of your sales page. So this is the seal the deal section. This is where you close the deal, where they actually make the purchase. There are some people who are going to buy right away when they see your problem statements, even when they see your headline. Some people are buy happy, they're going to buy right away. But for the people who need a little bit more convincing, they get all the way down to the seal the deal section. And this is where you show that you are relatable and trustworthy, okay? So you are someone that they can trust to solve their problem. This can be shown through testimonials, screenshots work great, urgency or scarcity, a guarantee. So if you have like a 7-day money back guarantee or something like that, an FAQ section, and we're going to get more into more detail. And then of course you have your call to action here. So let's seal the deal. All right, so why can they trust you? Our brains are hardwired to keep us safe. That is like the ultimate, primitive thing that our brain does. It's hardwired to really keep us safe. So people instinctively are looking for reasons not to buy their product, reasons that it's not for them. And you need to overcome these objections. So this could be done through testimonials. So if you have screenshots, that is awesome. You can also rewrite your testimonials with maybe a picture of the person who wrote it. But if you have gotten text messages or emails of them thanking you, this works awesome because they can see that this is authentic. You can't fake authenticity, right? So they need to be able to see that it's authentic. Now, sometimes if you're just releasing a new product, the testimonial can also be just about you. So it doesn't necessarily have to be directly related to the product, though that is even better. But if you're just getting started, at least get 1 or 2 testimonials that are just about you. So this could be a client that you worked one-on-one with, or maybe even someone that you worked for free to get started in your business, and have them just at least write something that just says, thank you so much. This is what I got out of working from you, right? And you can put that on your page that says like, hey, Kelly has been a godsend. She has helped me in more ways than I can imagine, right? And that's okay to put on your sales page. They just need to show that you are a real person, that you are really trying to help, and that somebody is saying something good about you. Okay, now the FAQ section, this is where you're going to be really overcoming objections. So this is when people say like, but I don't think I have enough time, or I can't commit. I have a really hard time committing. This is what your client is saying either in their head or maybe they're messaging you about. And this is something you want to just put straight out there. If you know that your product is expensive, you're going to write, in the question, like, is this really worth the price or something like that? And you're going to write in there why it's worth the price, why your product, maybe you deliver more better customer service. Maybe you offer more accountability sessions, whatever it is, to justify the value of the price, right? If that's something that your clients are thinking about. So any objections that they have, this is the section that you are going to use to overcome that. You already know they're thinking it. So don't be hesitant to put it on your page. Like you're like, oh, I don't really want to point out that this takes a lot of time. No, like you might say, if it does take a lot of time and people are going to be putting a lot of work in this, say, yes, you are going to be putting a lot of work in this. This is going to take some of your time. But by the end of it, you're going to have freedom of time because you've created something that you can use time and time again, right? So overcome their objections in this facts section. Okay, now when it comes to the checkout, this is where people actually buy, actually purchase. You want to keep it very simple. So this is the order form, and you want to have the least amount of fields on it. So you know where you go to buy something and you can type in your name and your phone number and your email address. You want the least amount of fields as possible to get people to purchase. If you don't need to be collecting people's shipping address, don't collect shipping address. A lot of people do like to collect phone numbers because they can use it to send out messages. I personally don't collect phone numbers because I find that if I just put full name and email, I get a lot more purchases because it's just less things that people have to do in order to actually hit complete order. So keep it very simple on the checkout button. I also personally recommend having your checkout right on the sales page. A lot of people have their sales page and then a button that says buy now, and it reloads a checkout page. The reason I don't do that is because now you're having to reload a page. So say that person doesn't have good cell service or great internet, that page may not load, right? That's one reason. Another reason is it gives them that extra moment to say, like, do I really need this? Do I need to really be spending that money? Whereas when it's just right there in front of them, it's so much easier to just say, you know what, I need this. I'm gonna buy it. And again, your product is a gift. You want them to purchase it because it's going to change their life. Okay, so seal the deal. Let's just take a moment to write. So I want you guys to write down the 3 top objections for signing up for your product or your service. So why do people decide they don't want to sign up? What's holding them back? And this is always fear-driven. So it's not necessarily a legitimate reason. It's generated by fear. So why do people sometimes say, I'm not ready to commit to this? Okay. Give you a little bit of time to write that down. You don't have to go in how to overcome it right now. Just write down the objections. Megan, I see you just joined. We're just writing down the top objections right now of why people might not purchase your product. We're actually pretty much through a lot of the training. All right. Okay, you can come back to this section later if you want to write more details, and I would absolutely come back and write how you could overcome these objections in your FAQ section. All right, so a lot of people ask me where I host my sales pages. I get asked all the time, where is your sales pages? I like the way they look. And also I get asked about my email marketing, and I use High Level for everything. This is the software that I use for my sales pages, my homepage, my email marketing, and my course and membership pages. So this is like incredible to have it all in one place. I used to use 3 different softwares. I was using ClickFunnels, ActiveCampaign, and MemberVault, which are all great softwares, but I had to integrate them all. And when there was a problem, they, couldn't check on the back end of the other places. And so it was really difficult to solve that issue and move forward, where if there's ever a problem with High Level, if the website's down or the button's not working, it gets fixed so quickly. It's much more simple. It just has simplified my business so much to have everything. I even have like my Instagram and Facebook comments all there that I can reply to, all the email marketing. The price is excellent for for the value that it provides. So if you guys are looking for a new software, this is what I use personally. I can actually give you my affiliate link if you're interested. And the reason I have an affiliate link is not because I'm trying to make money off of it, but because this is what I use. This is truly what I use in my own business. This has changed my life for the better, simplified my business so much. So if you do want to check it out, I just attached the affiliate link in the comments. Yep. So Kelly said she uses Kajabi and ConvertKit, which are also two great platforms. But I just found that having everything in one place, because I think with Kajabi, their email marketing isn't too robust. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I used to be a Kajabi member. I've tried them all at this point. I've pretty much tried everything, and this is what I have settled on. So if you're looking for a new software, I can actually email you a snapshot of a sales page if you do sign up using the affiliate link, and that will basically be a plug and play sales page for you. So it's all laid out with everything that needs to be there, and you just plug in your own pictures and words in there. Okay, so I do want to tell you guys about my client growth circuit because it's basically an extension of the workshop that we just had today. And this is a program that I have for coaches who are looking to start making some sales online. If you want to create some sort of product that you can sell and generate sales overnight, this would be the program for you. So yes, I'm going to point out there is work that goes into this. So like I mentioned earlier during the presentation, yeah, there's work on the back end of growing this and getting and doing this program. But in the end, this is what I have used to get freedom of time and financial freedom. Just something kind of personal. So last year, I was the first year that I really did well in business, and we made just under $1 million in revenue last year. And it's all through this exact method. So it's super impactful. So the foundations, oh, and by the way, I do use high level software for my templates and my snapshots with this program. If you don't use high level, you could still enroll and get a ton of value out of this program, but you do have to just rebuild the pages and that type of thing on your own software, which most other programs would have you do anyway. But if you happen to use high level, then you can get the snapshot and the templates, which makes it so easy. So the first part is the training number 1 is how to create your low ticket offer. So I teach you how to create a small product because my belief is that when people are seeing you for the first time, they're going to be hesitant to buy into a very expensive program. I've tried it. I've tried selling $5,000 programs to a cold audience, and it is a ton of work. You have to get on discovery calls. You have to flex your schedule around their schedule to make sure that they are getting what they need. And it's very hard to sell a expensive program, in my opinion, to a cold audience. What I have done is I have created a bunch of low ticket offers at this point where people can get in at a very small price, very affordable to anyone. They can get in, see what my business is all about, understand the quality of my business and what I'm offering. And then they can opt in either for my membership offer, which I teach you about, how to get them enrolled in a membership, because this is crucial for recurring and consistent income. This is the gold in my business, is my membership, because I have people in there they pay me every single month to help them in their business, to make their business so much easier. And you too can create a membership for people that's doing something similar for your line of work with your niche, right? If you have that membership where people are coming in every single month and you have that consistent revenue, it is a game changer. So this is how you can start making money and growing your business while you sleep, because once you have created it, it continues to work for you week after week. Training number 2 is a sales page that sells. So we get even deeper than we did today. And every great offer needs an even better sales page for people to hit that buy now button. So you'll get my proven template, everything that goes along with it. Oh, Kelly, thank you. The membership, thank you. I appreciate that. For more and more sales. Okay, so we really go into depth on this one. Training number 3 is how to get established with the tech and the email automations. And oh my gosh, I cannot tell you how much time I have spent on email automations and on the technology. This is probably the toughest part for coaches to really learn. And I go through it step by step and give you a done for you strategy with sales page templates and sales page templates and email funnel templates, which is a huge time saver in your business. So you can get your business running on autopilot so you can focus on the things that actually matter. Training number 4 is how to set up, run, and track your ads. So this is Facebook and Instagram ads. They're paid advertisements. And with paid advertisements, you don't need a big following. That is one thing that, it's hard to get started because people are like, I don't have anyone to sell to. I don't have an email list. I don't have a big following. And the amazing thing about that is that you don't need to have a big following when you're running paid advertisements. When you're running paid advertisements, they're going to the same amount of people, but there is a science to it, and it's not common sense. So my ads manager has actually created a whole section on this, breaking it down step by step so that you can get your ads functioning. All right. And then training number 5, I teach you how to manage your contacts. So this is how you simplify the customer service and the process so that your clients are raving about you. And it takes away time on the back end for you as well once you get these methods down. So this is value that you can get immediately. So just for that, that's over an $8,000 value. And then I'm giving you additional bonuses on top of that. So I'm giving you Canva mockup templates so that you can make this building the sales page process so much easier and the advertisements so much easier. I'm giving you the Stripe and PayPal trainings. I'm showing you how to create products for future sales, right? So once you get this one going, then what? I show you how to create products there. You get access to past recordings of strategy coaching calls, and you get access to the Facebook group for 6 months. So that's 6 months of feedback that you can get from that group. And you can post on there all of your work. So you will be getting worksheets and homework to do to get this rolling. And you can post that on there, and I will give you detailed feedback. I'll come back with a video if necessary, or detailed feedback on what you should change or what looks great. So this is available for today only. This is something I actually decided to throw in last minute with this workshop. The workshop was intended just to give you a ton of value. And then I'm like, you know what, I already have this program. I'm going to throw it in for today only for $497. This product sells on a daily basis for $1,800. So this is what I typically sell this program for, is $1,800. But if you want it today, you can save $1,300 and get it for $497. But to do that, you need to go to the sales page, which I want you to go to anyway to get a good example of what a good sales page looks like. And then when you check out, you're going to use the code SAVE1300 if you do want to purchase this. So let me drop that sales page into the chat. And you guys probably already know this, but in case you don't, you can't copy and paste usually from Zoom. So make sure you actually click that link that's in the chat box right now if you are at all interested, and just have it open on your computer, because if you just tried to save it, you won't be able to copy and paste it. And so click the link, open the page if you are at all interested in the program. Okay, and the code is SAVE1300 because that is how much money you are saving. All right, so let's go ahead and start rolling into question and answer. We have about 15 minutes for question and answer. So Stacy, I'm actually going to throw it over to you. Was there any questions that you saw earlier?
Yeah, we had some great questions earlier. So one from Jessica was regarding the headline. So it was, should the headline be a blend of the two problems?
Okay, so the headline is, so you are touching on their main problem. The headline is short. You only get one sentence, right? So you want to touch on their main problem. What is the thing that it's like that keeps them up at night? Think of that. The thing that makes it hard for them to go to sleep, the thing that they're bothered by on a daily basis. What is that? And then spinning it in a positive light, showing that there is hope for solving that problem. Okay.
So then to piggyback on that, there was another question from April about how long should the headline be? So you said about one sentence.
Yeah, so the headline should be no longer than one sentence, and it should be a relatively short sentence. But as far as your entire sales page goes, so not just your headline, but the entire sales page, there should be no extra fluff in there. So any words that don't need to be there, that aren't really driving home your point, you need to take out. So once you've kind of finished writing your sales page, go through it and say like, oh, is this just extra talk? Is this distracting from the problem? And you want to go ahead and pull out all those extra words. So the headline should be just enough words to hit home, to hit the problem statement and show that you might possibly, that you understand them and there could be a solution. There's hope for a solution.
Okay.
Also, when you go through, it kind of brings up another point is when you go through, and Stacey, I don't know if someone's not on mute. Do you mind just checking?
Oh.
Thanks. So when you go through your page, you want to bold or highlight the words that make it for some.
You're muted. Valerie, you're muted.
Hey, you put me on mute.
I-
So I don't know where I cut off, but you want to bold or highlight the words on your sales page so that somebody who's scrolling through your sales page understands the gist of it by just reading those bold or highlighted words, that they really understand that you understand them, that you have a product that can solve their problem, and the impact of the problem and why you're trustworthy, right? The impact of your product and why you're trustworthy. So they should be able to skim through and read through those bold words, because there are some people who will read every single word of your sales page, and there are other people who will skim through very quickly and know whether or not they want to join. Okay. All right. What's next, Stacey?
All right. The next question is, if you have multiple products and multiple ideal clients, do you need a different mode of advertising, like for sales or social media pages?
So if you have multiple ideal clients, your product, each individual product should be to a very specific person. So you shouldn't have a product that's for this wide range of people. It's going to be very difficult for you to stand out in the crowd when your product can be for anyone, right? People aren't going to feel like they're really connecting with you. They're not going to feel like your product can help them because you're saying, hey, this can help a 70-year-old man dealing with diabetes, but this can also help a 20-year-old woman with gut issues. They're going to be like, this isn't for me. I don't really understand what this person is going for. So each product that you sell, you can work with various people. You can have different types of people that you work with, but your product, each service or product should be directed towards one person, and your sales page should reflect that. I hope that makes sense.
Okay. And then there is a question about this. Is a sales page a landing page as well?
Yes. So your sales page is your landing page for your product. So if you, for example, have somewhere where you want, so if you're posting something on social media and you post a link to buy something, sign up for something, call you for a free consultation, that is a landing page, and it also functions as a sales page. So yes. Now there are different sales pages that don't need to be quite as long. So for example, if the person already knows you, so for example, to sign up for this particular workshop, I didn't do this long detailed sales page to sign up for this workshop. Number one, it's a free workshop, right? Number two, I sent this out to people who know and trust me. I sent this out to my email list, mostly people who have already purchased from me, mostly people who follow me on Instagram. So it's people who really know and already trust me for the most part that are signing up for this. So I didn't have this huge detailed list. But if you're selling to a cold audience that has never worked with you before, that doesn't necessarily know someone who's worked for you before, this is where that sales page makes the biggest impact. And that's where you need to have everything that we discussed today on that page.
Okay. And then you did link the sales page in there, correct? You put that in the chat for everyone to see.
Did. Yep.
And then this is being recorded, and this will be sent out.
Yep. So I'll send out the recording in likely about half an hour once it's loaded. So you guys will all get access to the recording. I'll also send out the couple of links that we discussed, the high level link and the client growth circuit. So if you have any other questions, you can also email me, but I'm going to open this up right now. Does anybody have any questions? Oh, it looks like Brittany. I'm going to read your question out loud if that's okay. I know this is very specific to me, but my question is about two audiences. If I have a business that I'm trying to put under one umbrella, I'm a physical therapist who treats gymnastics, but I also treat anyone. What platform is also wellness and health coaching for moms, exercise? So those are really two separate businesses. I would not have them on one page. I would separate the two. I would make sure that you have everything separated. Social media, you can maybe kind of mix the two, but I would recommend separating the two completely because it's two totally different clients and it's two totally different services that you are offering. So I would separate the two if I were you. Does anybody else want to pop on, unmute themselves and ask a question? Let's see.
I have a couple of questions.
Okay.
Sorry, I can't be on camera, but I wanted to know if I were interested in buying this course, would I have to start using High Level, or I currently use Squarespace, Flowdesk, and Practice Better, and I love all three. Could I continue using those, or is that something that I would have to get rid of?
So you can continue using those. You would just have to rebuild. If you want to put everything on those platforms, you would just have to rebuild like the sales page. So I show you exactly what it should look like, what should be included, all that stuff there. And then you would just have to build it on your own platform. And same with the email automations. I show exactly how the email automation should function, which tags you should use, what you're going to use for we have several. So for example, if somebody enters in their information, but doesn't buy, we're going to have an abandoned cart email automation. And that sends out a series of emails that says, hey, saw you were interested, and gives them more information. And I teach you how to write those emails. And so you would just have to rebuild those on the platform that you're using, but I show you exactly what it should look like and the flow of everything. That makes sense.
Okay, great. And I have one more question. I usually like to stay away from like the scarcity language and all of that. Is this still a course that would be, that would be good for me? I don't know if this is the right course because of that. I don't like to use like scarcity language, or I like to be a little bit more laid back when it comes to selling. I'm not sure if this would be the right course.
Yeah. So, you can sell. It's not so much about scarcity, because the program teaches you to sell a product that's always available. Your product, this low ticket offer that you're offering, it's a ton of value that you're offering at any point. So for me, and the way that I teach it in the course, there isn't a limited number available, or there isn't a limited time available to purchase your low ticket offer. Your low ticket offer is always available. Now, if you're selling more high ticket, I would recommend doing some sort of, deal where you're selling it just for one day, or you're launching. But this is why I don't start with high ticket, because then you're launching, you're putting all your eggs in one basket for this one day or these 2 days. And if you don't make sales, then what's next, right? So that's why I don't lead with any sort of high ticket offer. My low ticket offers are what make me money. I have this other program too, because I love coaching coaches. It's really rewarding for me, but my low ticket offer and my membership are what drives my company. And those are always available, and there's no scarcity involved with that. So there's no scarcity tactics or anything like that as far as selling goes. And that's what I teach in the course.
Okay. That helps. Would a low ticket be anything like under $100, would you say?
Yeah, I would actually start with lower. I would start with something that's under $50 when you're first selling, because it's an impulse buy, right? And once you get to the $100 mark or close to that, it's something that people have to think a little bit more about. And when you're selling something that's under $50, it's kind of a no-brainer if it matches, if you have a good sales page and you're hitting the right audience. It's really a no-brainer for that person to say, okay, you know what? I'm going to give this a try. And so that's kind of what this teaches. And I've built an email list of now over 20,000 people just on these low ticket offers. And so you're selling to a large amount of people. So don't think like, oh, I'm undervaluing my product, or I'm not going to make enough money with this product if I sell it for less, because you're selling to a lot of people. And then you're getting a lot of people on your email list that may be further interested in stuff that you're selling for a higher amount, or more coaching that involves more support. So of course you have to charge more when you're offering more support, but these are more products that they can use right away. So a challenge or something along those lines that they can just get enrolled in right away, get started right away.
Yeah. And when you say a lot of people, obviously you're talking about like when you're going to be doing Facebook ads and things like that, right?
Yes.
To reach.
Yep.
Okay. All right. Makes sense. Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, let's see. Emily asked, how long is the course program for? And the course program is any amount of time. So you have lifetime access to the actual course. So you can do it at any time, but it's only 6 months in, I shouldn't say only because that's a long time. It's 6 months available in the Facebook group where you can get feedback. So you get 6 months of support through the Facebook group. And then at any point, you can do the course or complete the course whenever you have the time to do it. Lifetime access. Okay, and Brittany asked, what is the difference between this course? Oh, so the difference between this course and my $19 a month membership, they're totally different programs. So this course is for coaches to grow their business and use this specific strategy. This is a strategy course. I go through all the details. It's not just fluff of saying, you know, how do you create? I see so many courses that are like, how do you create a course, right, to sell online? Well, great. If you create a course, great, but how do you sell it, right? How are you actually going to get people enrolled in that course? This goes from A to Z. So this is a strategy course of how you actually create this one thing, how you get it on automation, and then how you make sales to it, and then what to do afterwards. So this is an A to Z course. It's a strategy course. My $19 a month membership is white label content. So I create content for coaches to use in their own business, wellness coaches specifically. So it's for like I have challenges. Every month I have a brand new 30 recipe pack that comes with all photos. It comes with macro breakdowns. I have a new 4-week meal plan every month. I have 4 client ready guides based on top requests and 20 social media posts that can be rebranded and used as your own. So that's what that's all about. So you can rebrand that material and actually use it as your own. One note about that, if you are reselling that material using online and using paid advertisements, it just has to be unrecognizable. And what I mean by that is you have to change the cover page and the headline and just delete the cover page and create your own cover page so that it's unrecognizable. But if you're pushing any paid advertisements to it, you can't have any of those exact images from that exact product on the paid ad or on the sales page. Just make sure it looks a little bit different. But you can actually build an entire program using the content that I provide in the Wellness Vault membership. So it is a huge time saver, guys. I mean, building a program takes a lot of time and a lot of effort, but if you're using content like this that you can just tweak a little bit, that you can customize and edit to be in your own voice and your own style and maybe some of your own recommendations, it's so helpful. So that's the difference, Brittany. All right, Nell, come on off mute, if you will. I see you have your hand up.
Hi. Okay,
Hi.
so I had a question. First of all, thank you for everything. And I also get like all your white label things. So thank you.
You're welcome.
The high level platform, is that like, I've tried a couple of these things and some of them are like really not self-explanatory or like user-friendly. What would you rate high level? Oh, of course you use it, but like, is it user-friendly?
So once you get rolling, it is. I have now changed software so many times because I just wanted to find the best one that worked the best for my business. And there's certainly a learning curve to starting on a new software with any software you choose. So I'm not going to say, yeah, you're going to get in there and it's going to be like, oh, yes, this is, piece of cake.
Okay.
No, there is a learning curve to it. But the amazing thing about High Level is that they have an incredible onboarding process and they actually get on Zoom calls with you to set you up. And so that's huge because the other softwares I would get on and I'm like, I'm having a problem and I can't move forward because I can't get past this one thing, right? Whereas them, it's 24/7 that they're available and they get on the call with you and address it. So anytime you can get on those calls, and then with the onboarding process, it's a very, very clear process. Don't skip it. Some people like to try to just move forward and skip it. Don't skip it. Go through the onboarding process to make sure your domains are set up correctly and all of that is set up correctly. And then once you play with it and once you're used to it, I mean, now I get on and I get my work done in, depending on what I'm doing, obviously, but like I can write a sales page in 45 minutes at this point because it's just I know the system. And so once you're familiar with it, it's plug and play. It's not like I've tried WordPress and all those, and that's like a lot of HTML. It's none of that. It's user-friendly in the way that it's like the design work is easy. The email templates are easy, that type of thing.
And then there's two memberships, 97 or 297. Like just getting started, would you say the 97 will be okay?
Yes. Yep. You don't need to jump into the 297 program right away. The only
Okay.
reason I have the 297 program is because I have a large email list.
Right, right.
But that's the only like extra benefit that it gives me. Otherwise, I would use the 97.
Okay, awesome. Thank you so
Yeah.
much again.
Yep. You're welcome. Okay. Let's see. I appreciate you, by the way. We've been in contact a few times. All right.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. All right. So let's see. Any other questions? I can't find the tutorial for Flowdesk. Yeah. So Flowdesk is a different system. Let's see. Yeah. System.io gave me anxiety. Yeah. So, learning a new software, it's hard. The tech is really hard. And that's why this program is so great because it runs you through a lot of that. And because I know I've been caught up on it many times myself, and it's certainly a learning process. But let's see. Oh, sorry. One more question. Can you give us how this course would play out? Do you do live teaching? So it's all laid out step by step for exactly which what you need to do, and there's workbooks included throughout each step so that you actually like go through piece by piece of how to create a low ticket offer, a membership offer, and then get it on a sales page, write the actual copy for the sales page, make sure it matches up with your email so that you're actually connecting the two so that when somebody buys a product, they immediately get access to your membership portal. How to actually get everything onto the membership page. So how to build out your actual program on that membership page, and then your follow-up email automations. So everything is laid out step by step, and including advertisements as well, step by step. And yeah, it's all laid out there. There aren't any live coaching sessions with this one, but there are access to previous live sessions that I've had. And then the Facebook group, you can just post in there your links to any of the work that you've done, whether it be your sales page or whether it be a workbook that you want on, because they're all on Google Docs. So you can just post the link there and I can get on and put feedback right on there for you. So that's kind of how it works out. Okay, someone asked if there will be a replay. Yes, there will be a replay. I will send that out in about half an hour once it's downloaded. And yeah, okay, I think that's it. Unless anybody wants to come off of mute. Let's see, Angela, what did you say? I did this program and I use Go High Level and Practice Better. They both are beneficial for different purposes. So yeah, you can stay on Practice Better if you're already on there and use that if you love it. Either way.
Now there was some comments about the Stan Store for like social. Do you have any comments on that? Stan Store?
Stan Store.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I'm not sure what that is for the Stan Store. I'm trying to find. If that was your question, feel free to come off mute. In the meantime, Brittany asked, is this for beginners, like brand new businesses? So I did a course very similar to this. It's basically the same thing. And I paid $5,000 for it. And I did it when I was just starting out. And this is what started to get my business rolling. Now, did I have immediate success with it? I didn't. I had to readjust. I had to tweak things. I had to really figure out my niche and what my clients wanted because I was brand spanking new. But if I hadn't taken that course, I would not be where I am today. I honestly owe everything in my business to that course because it is still the backbone of what I teach and how I run my business. And it's, I mean, the teachings that I got from that course, even though it didn't pan out for me immediately, by the end of the course, I use it today. That's what I use today. That's the sales process I use today. I've tweaked it a little bit because I think that there's a better opportunity with the membership program. So I have tweaked it a little bit, but it's still the backbone of my business. And I do not regret 1 cent that I spent on that business, on that course, because it really led me to the life I have now. And so, yes, this can be for brand new businesses as well. Okay, we are going to sign off. It was amazing having all of you on. I appreciate the time that you took to spend with me today. I hope you got a ton of value out of the training. There will be the replay that I'll send to you in about half an hour in case you missed the beginning. And best of luck to all of you. I appreciate you. If you have any follow-up questions, please reach out to me. I still answer all of my emails. I still read every single email. And so anything that you're sending my way, I am reading. I love getting requests for the Wellness Vault. If you're a Wellness Vault member, send your requests my way. I can't guarantee they'll get done immediately, but they all go on the list. And the ones that come up on the top are the ones that get completed. And so I love hearing from you guys. I love hearing your questions. Feel free to reach out at any time. Thank you so much for jumping on. Bye.
Thank you.
You're welcome.